This module covers creating new projects in TransModeler. A new project is created by first creating a new network or choosing an existing one. There are different ways to create a new network. In this module, we will create a network from scratch. At the end of the module, we will have a new network saved in a simulation database, which has a DBD extension, and a new simulation project file, which has an SMP extension. A simulation project is a file that organizes all the input files that define the network, signal timings and demand, and all the settings that describe each scenario. Most of the topics in this module will cover the various ways that you can begin with an almost fully developed network that represents your study area and the existing conditions by either importing an external file from a variety of different formats or exporting a selection set from the statewide database. This is typically the recommended way to start any new project because it allows you to bypass the effort that would normally be required in terms of the road editing to create a network from scratch. However, creating a network from scratch is always an option too. And in this video, we'll show you how that's done and introduce the very basic components that comprise a simulation project. With a blank TransModeler screen up, we'll select File New, New Simulation Database, and select Create a Map. All this option is allowing you to do is be more specific about where your map will open up. This way, you will be able to use map content from the web, such as Google satellite imagery, as a reference and to relate the model to other geographic data you may have access to, such as traffic counts or geographic layers from OATS web mapping portal, TIMS. Presumably you'll know pretty well where your project area is. If you know exactly where it is, you can actually enter a street address to bring you right to that point. The example used for this training course happens to be in the northwest area of Columbus on State Road 315. So we'll go with the city and state method. The map layer is simply the type of map that will be shown as the background of your project on which you'll develop the simulation network over the top of. In this case, we're looking for a location and we want labels to be able to see exactly where we're navigating to. Once we actually start road editing though, you'll probably want to select one of the satellite-based layers. As you will see later in this video, you can readily switch between these base map layers once the project has been created. So once we confirm that Use Current Map is checked, we'll click OK. And now we're asked to create the new simulation project file, starting with the simulation database. The simulation database file stores all of the roadway network details. So initially when we save this, it will be completely blank. The more links and nodes we add, the larger that file becomes. At this point, we can go ahead and click Save File, and we'll be saving it as a SMP simulation project file. This, as opposed to the simulation database, saves all of the settings that you specify associated with your project. We'll discuss that more later in a different module. So we'll zoom out, pan over to the northwest part of the city, find our study area, which will be State Road 315 from just north of Bethel Road to North Broadway. We'll cover road editing in more detail in a different module in the context of the street here adjacent to State Road 315 and the freeway facility on State Road 315 itself. For now, we're just showing how you would begin a network from scratch by just adding a few details. So we'll zoom into one intersection in the study area, and we'll switch to a satellite layer. This option opens the Web Map layer toolbar, and it shows that we've selected Google Map already, but we'll switch over to Google Satellite. So now we can see the detailed road geometry. The map is now ready for road editing. You can begin using the tools on the Streets tab on the sidebar to add streets to the simulation database.